and I want to fill a circle. So I start typing context fill circle, and as soon as I start typing, I get this autocomplete list of the different fill methods. So those are the different things I could type there: fill circle, fill rect, fill text. And as I move up and down this autocomplete list, I immediately see what each of them is doing. So I don't have to imagine what it would do from the method name. I don't have to look at the documentation. I just see it immediately. So I want the circle, and I'm going to adjust the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate, change the radius a bit. And that looks about right. Probably should be yellow. So I'm going to set the fill style, context fill style, same autocomplete as before. Choose fill style. Give me white by default. And I can change that color code the same way I change any number. Point to it, hit the control key, and I got a color palette. So I can choose a nice yellow for my sun. Although the white was kind of interesting, I thought. Kind of didn't expect that, but with the white, it now looks like the moon instead, right? Hey, look, it's nighttime. So having this immediate connection allows ideas to surface and develop in ways that would be impossible before. But there's still a problem here, I think, which is I've got this picture and I've got this code over here, and I have to maintain the mapping between the two in my head. So I've got all these lines of code, and just looking at this line, I don't immediately know what it does. So here's what I can do. I can hold down the Option key, my cursor changes to a magnifying glass, and now as I roll over each line of code, it's highlighting in the picture what's being drawn in that line. So if I want to know what's going on in this function, I just kind of roll down the function and see what highlights. So here I've got two calls to draw a mountain. I don't know which is which. Well, that's that mountain, and that's that mountain. And this has to work the other way, too, that if I see part of the picture, I need to know what code was responsible for drawing it. So I do the same thing. I hold down the Option key, and now as I move over each pixel of the picture, you'll see on the right, it's jumping to the line of code that drew that pixel. So that drew the sky, and that drew the tree, that drew the blossom. So this is really important for maintaining that mapping, but it's also really useful just for navigating around. So, I want to make the sun a little bit bigger. So I jump there, make the sun a little bigger. I want to bring up the tree a little bit. So I jump there, bring up the tree a little bit. I want to bring up the mountains a little bit. So I jump there, bring up the mountains a little bit. And I can make these changes as quickly as I think of them.